Good morning, everybody. We are ready to play. Today is a companion lesson to yesterday's lesson on my spaghetti monster. So we're going to take a minute to review yesterday's lesson, and then we will also be working on continuing the idea of playing chords and melody together at the same time. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go post our link on the website. The website is jollyrogerukulele.com. At Jolly Roger, you will have a complete educational program to becoming an instrumental ukuleleist. And my big goal on the site these days is to just give you the very straight up everything you need and nothing you don't need. Well, I'll probably give you plenty you don't need to, but lots and lots of sheet music on there, along with a fully thought through, many years of teaching program that will get you involved in instrumental play and playing ukulele as a musician would play it, rather than playing it as a fun activity to do with a beer in your hand. Not that there's anything wrong with playing it that way too, but I want ukulele to be able to be played at that high level, and that's what we've been working on. We're on lesson 14 of 30, so we're about halfway through the intro program, and hopefully you've had enough chance to watch the previous lessons. Lessons 1 through 8 all happen on the same day, so that's a little confusing. But other than that, everything is one lesson at a time. This is lesson 14, and where we cover 3 blind mice. And looks like all I need to do is add in the website. When I tweet, I'm still trying to figure out how Twitter handles this stuff. jollyrogerukulele.com. All right, lesson 14, 3 blind mice, tweet. All right, so that gets us going on that. It's not tweeting. Come on, tweet. There it goes. Tweet. All right, we've tweeted, and it looks different on every format. We'll wait just a minute or two for everybody to get logged in, set in. Guys, you want to make sure to have your My Spaghetti Monster up in front of you today. We're going to review, make sure that was making sense from yesterday, and then we'll dig into 3 blind mice. Linda says I sound good, and Linda knows quality sound, so she's our the big news today is I moved the microphone from over here to over here, and I slid my table out just a smidge this way so that I would have this. So I'm planning on getting a drummer's stool instead of this chair. This chair I sit on is really not ideal, and so I'm going to be thinking I'm going to be possibly going to the drum store tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Saturday. I'm going to see if they let people in over there and look at getting a rotating drum seat. A regular chair has turned out to be a chair with a pillow on it. That's what I sit on. It's turning out to not be ideal for these 4 hours of broadcasting, 5 hours really every day. So that's the big news from here, from the Jolly Roger home front. Let's see who else logged in. Nancy's in. She's in 81 degrees in Florida today. That's perfect. That's exactly what it should be, right? Now, if it would just stay 81 degrees in Florida every day, then everybody would move there. But that's not how it works. Jim is in 19 degrees up in Fort McMurray, northern Alberta. It's pretty hot up there lately, huh, Jim? It's pretty toasty, probably. Vig is in. Sound is good. Raining up in Eugene. Okay, that's what we expect in Eugene. Donna is in from locally here. Beautiful blue skies after about 6 inches of snow in her neighborhood. They're reporting we got 11 in Denver. It doesn't look like 11 to me. It looks like 6 or 7 as well, but I suppose it depends on where you measure it at. They said Boulder got quite a bit, and then I have one of our members of the Melissa comes in, and she said she only got 6 up in Boulder. So yeah, it's always something, right? Everybody goes out and measures and has a different number. Mindy's in from Montana, overcast. Fridge compressor went out, gathering tax info for the appointment, so this is a nice thing to do, even if it's work. Yeah, I have some stuff going on here at the building, and I've been getting a few texts, and it is theoretically possible I may have to eject on the broadcast here today. I had to ditch the guitarist today to deal with some stuff, so I can relate, Mindy. The things happen in life, right? And that take precedent over playing ukulele, which is wrong, but that's the truth. So, guys, I want you to grab, it's 12:10, starting a late start on for no reason whatsoever. Let's grab My Spaghetti Monster ukulele version. Let's play through it. Make sure that even if you're not playing it well, you know what you're supposed to play. And we will play it again tomorrow. We'll talk about tomorrow's concert here in just a second. But let's grab the ukulele version of My Spaghetti Monster. I want you to play along with me on that. And as you guys remember from yesterday, this is one of the very few lessons in the entire series where baritone and ukulele do not play together. And the main reason is that the chords in this are so wonky that... what happened here? Wait, this is not in my spatial awareness ability. What happened here? Is that close? That's pretty close. All right. So, baritone players, sit out for just a second. Let's play the My Spaghetti Monster. Okay. Ukulele players, nice and slow. We're going to play the tough uke line. Remember, when you get to those down strums, it's just beautiful thumb down on those glissandos, right? Make it sound beautiful. The only time you don't go all the way down is your 8, 10, and 12. You're going to do a rest stroke, and your thumb's going to rest on like it's on a hammock there. This is a big deal, so let's see if we can get it right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 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 oh. Strum, strum. Oh, 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 oh. Strum, strum. Oh. Rest stroke, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's your goal for the week. Like, if there's nothing else that happens, if everything else we talked about this week falls flat, being able to play that tune is as high on my list of things. Like, here are the things that are on top of my list when it comes to ukulele. Making sure your thumb is in the right spot. Playing Frere Jacques, playing My Spaghetti Monster. Though, if you can get those 3 things right, everything else is going to come together. I have one other thing which we will dig into next week called arpeggio picking, and that is going to end up being very high on my list of things as well. When I die, and 200 years from now, when they're looking back on the history of ukulele, they're going to run across a arpeggio book I wrote and left out laying around on the internet, and that's going to be this thing where people are like, oh yeah, see, they were working on this is something that Gary Ugert guy put out. I believe, honestly, it's going to be on that level in terms of, yep, this was something they were doing. It's not something that we were really doing. I was doing it and telling you it was important. But that's really the top 4 things I can think. Get your thumb right. Learn to play Frere Jacques. Learn to play My Spaghetti Monster. And learn to play arpeggios. Then you're set for life. You're really going to, everything else we talked about will be additional information, but if we can get those few things right, everything else is, as an instrumentalist, is going to work out really, really well for you, and you're going to have a lifetime of playing this instrument quite happily and quite beautifully. So let's keep that at. Let's grab your baritone version, and again, ukulele players, just sit out on this one. Let's play, those of you who have a baritone on your lap, let's play with that. Rob is in, 57 and supposed to rain for a week. Rob, you guys don't need any more environmental tragedies down there. You need none of that. You need a good solid 2 weeks of just being hot in Texas, right? Rough winter down there for Rob and Cat down in Texarkana. My Spaghetti Monster on baritone, same exact skill set, just a lower voicing on the instrument. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you're after. By tomorrow, let's see how close to, maybe not memorized, but how close you can get to where you're only using the paper as reference and you really know what's going to be needing to be done over on your right hand. So let's spend today in your practice time working to make sure that that's coming together. Okay. Now we can get back to playing together. Okay. So I want you to go grab Three Blind Mice, the ukulele version. And let's talk about why this is important, and then let's also talk about the fact that when you bought your ukulele, Three Blind Mice was not on the top of your list of songs you were hoping you were going to get to play, and why it is on the top of mine of things that I teach you. So Three Blind Mice, the nice part about this, there's one chord, okay? One chord. And when we have a one chord song, what are you not probably going to spend a lot of time working on? The chord, right? You're going to be working on everything else on this. The nice part about Three Blind Mice for ukulele is C is our home base, right? And so for baritone players, this will end up in the key of G, so that they have exactly the same skill set. Baritone players, you're going to back this up. You're going to play your C chord, right, which is right up there on the top of the paper. And what we're doing with this lesson is re-emphasizing an important thought we learned yesterday. Q made it in, and I just noticed Rob's wrote, yeah, we have locusts in the forecast too. And frogs. It's going to rain frogs next, Rob. So, yeah, I would definitely be thinking about reading some Macbeth, because I think that is where you're headed next. So baritone players, you're going to be giving us just your C chord. We're going to go through and play the same exact skill set with you, but pay attention, because this is the lesson we'll do on baritone as well. Ukulele players, you know the tune. Three blind mice, three blind mice. So we're not going to spend a ton of time thinking that over as well. What we are thinking about is rest stroke, which is remember on My Spaghetti Monster you had 003, and I told you let your thumb rest on the string below there. This is the rest stroke lesson. This is the lesson where we start thinking about what happens when we're done, when we hit that melody note. Here's your melody. Three blind mice, right? 0, 2, 0. Once our thumb is coming down, when we've played the melody note, we have to stop hitting strings. And one of the challenges when you buy your ukulele, you go on YouTube and you type in how to play ukulele, and the very first video that pops up is one of these. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. And what are they doing? Every single string, every single time. Strum, 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 strum. Super fun way to play. Then when you come to instrumental, and I think, no, we're not going to just hit every string randomly, just like it's some sort, like we're, chopping wood. We got to be a little more strategic about that, a little bit more thoughtful. And so sometimes, yeah, we're going to go all the way down. But sometimes we're not. And what do we do then? So in the very first case here, 0, 0, 0, your thumb's coming down. It's resting on that first string, and it rests on there so this doesn't accidentally go off. It also has the happy consequence of we tend to hit this last string we hit a little extra hard accidentally because we're diving into rest. Okay, so rest stroke. 0, 0, 0. Next one is 0, 2, and then 0, 0. And notice my thumb is now resting on this second string because I'm not going to play it. Okay, measure 2 is identical. Play it. And this will be exactly the same on the baritone, and you guys can be practicing that with me as we go along. We won't go into the same level of detail, but you see what's going on. Okay, 0, 0, 3, measure 3, 0, 0, 3, and then 2 1s, and then a 0. Okay, measure 4, almost the same, and then you have the 0, 0, 3 at the end of measure 4. And then look what happens at measure 5. Now we are going to use all 4 strings, so now we don't have to worry about rest stroke because our thumb's going to fall off the bottom of the ukulele. Now in the middle of measure 6 there, you go 0, 0, 3. You do that little bunny hop there, get your ring on that second string, and then now your thumb is going to rest. Okay, you do 3 of those. And then now measure 7, back to the same idea that you learned in measure 5. Middle of measure 8, you bunny hop, and now your thumb's going to rest again. Okay, measure 9, go back to the top string. Middle of measure 10, bunny hop, 0, 0, 3. 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 2, and 0, 0. Now, let's talk a little bit about, there's probably really one other main idea here. The main thing that we're working on is rest stroke, making sure that your thumb rests on the string you're not going to play. That's a big deal. In classical guitar, I'm taking classical guitar right now, one of the very first things they teach you is rest stroke versus free stroke. So in other words, when we're doing that, sometimes when we do a rest stroke with a thumb, my thumb ends up resting on a string that I'm not going to play. Free stroke is where you come and pull it out. Now we're almost never going to do that on ukulele unless it's the bottom string, right, where it comes off of there and the notes just ring out. It's a pretty important concept because we want to make sure to get good, high quality, snappy tone, and rest stroke gives you that. Even if you were coming up with your other finger, and you were, let's say you were doing an up strum, and your index finger comes up and rests on, say, the 3rd string, that 2nd string is going to sound snappier because of that. Right? Bum, bum, bum. You get a little bit of a snap into it, and it creates a certain tone that is very pleasant and very definite and very beautiful. And we want to, with ukulele, we got to work pretty hard to get good, clean tone out because our instrument's generally not a super expensive instrument, not necessarily the highest quality machinery, manufacturing process to create them. So anything we can do to add beauty to the instrument, make sure we're getting the best possible tone out of our instrument, we want to do. Excuse me. All right, so let's play it through one more time. So rest stroke is a big deal. The second thing that's on this is how long do notes last. The problem with tablature is it doesn't tell you. It says 0, 2, 0, 0, 2, 0. Excuse me, I don't know what's going on. I haven't been out of the house. I haven't talked to anybody in weeks, so I can't possibly have caught a cold. 0, 2, 0, 0, 2, 0. That's just what you play. The way you know how long it lasts is that I give you on every single piece of paper I ever hand out has the melody line on there, and that tells you the notes are going to tell you how long it lasts. And so let me give you the fastest sheet music reading lesson ever. First note, that little dark dot with a stem on it, that's called a quarter note. It's worth 1. At the end of that measure, 3 blind mice has the same thing except there's a hole in the middle of that. That's worth 2 beats. Okay, 3 blind mice beat. 3 blind mice beat. Okay, so if it has a hole in the middle, it's worth 2. Then in measure 3, you got one that's got just a stem on it. That's worth 1. Then the next 2, you see how they're tied together? That's called a flag that's tying those 2 together. Those are each worth half a beat. See how they run. Okay, so it's see how they, and then run is worth 2, right? Run, beat. See how they run, beat. Or in the measure 4, it's going to be see how they run, they. Okay, so that's the types of notes that you're going to run into in ukulele for the rest of your life. If it's a dark hole or a dark dot with a stem on it, it's worth 1. If it's got a hole in the middle, it's worth 2. If it's got a flag tying them together, it's worth half of a beat. And the only other type of note you have in this song, down the measure 12, you just got there's no stem on it, it's just a round hole. That's worth 4 beats, okay? Mice, 2, 3, 4, okay? All right, so we're almost done with the lesson. Can you believe that? This goes fast. Let's see, Mindy says, so 0, 2, you rest thumb on the 3rd string. Second, well, yes, Mindy. However, your nomenclature is a little off. String 1, string 2, string 3, string 4. So on the 0, 2, she's talking about the second note, 3 blind. It says 0, 2. Your thumb is resting on on your E string, which isn't your 3rd string, it's your 2nd string. But yes, you have the right idea, just the wrong name of this string. This is string 1, this is string 2, this is string 3, and this is string 4. So 0, 2, you're resting your thumb on the 2nd string, because you're not going to play that. So absolutely right. Just remember, that's string number 2, not string number 3. They number them from the bottom to the top. That takes a little getting used to. Again, think about your tablature. It's written upside down. Same with your ukulele. We number the strings upside down. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, great question. All right, let's play it, and let's see how you do. Okay, not fast. The goal here: rest stroke, rest stroke, rest stroke, and then making sure that your notes are the correct amount of time. Baritone players, grab your C chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every measure. Don't listen to the melody. Don't try to speed up with the melody. Don't try to slow down when you hit a half note. Every measure is a quarter note. 4 quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strum, 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 strum. No matter what is going on here in the melody. From the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strum. Strum, 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 strum. So the big takeaway there is rest stroke on almost every note, right? When you get to measure 5 and your thumb is falling off the bottom of the instrument, you don't do rest stroke there. But almost, 3/4 of these notes on here, you're going to be doing some form of rest stroke, either resting on the 1st string or the 2nd string, and then just making sure you're peaking up at the speed of the notes in the standard notation line, the melody line here, and then playing what it says to play on the tough uke line. Q asks, how I remember string numbers is building. Oh yeah, right. There you go. That's one way to remember it. By remembering your string numbers, think about it as floors on an apartment building. Floor number 1, floor number 2, floor number 3, floor number 4. That's a good idea. That gets a little messy when you start talking about frets, because frets are basements, right? Basement number 1, basement number 2, basement number 3, basement number 4. Good visual cue. Good visual cue. Good visual idea, right? First floor, 2nd floor, 3rd floor, 4th floor, and then these are all the opposite of that, right? These are the basement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is actually fairly easy to remember, right? This one makes a lot more sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. But the strings do seem backward, but yeah, I like that. You think of it as floors. Good idea. Q Finally, Q has a home run idea. All right, she's got a lot of home run ideas. All right, that's Three Blind Mice. This is something that's worth the idea. Once we get comfy with that, next week when we start dealing with Yankee Doodle, Amazing Grace, some of these more real songs that are a lot more interesting than Three Blind Mice, we're going to take that same exact program that we have here. Now notice on my Spaghetti Monster, I put little wigglies on there to really emphasize this thumb down idea. On this piece of paper, I didn't put any of those, but they're there. You just have to know that they're there. Okay, and the other reason to not put them there is it gives you a choice. Maybe down the road you decide, you know what, I'm not going to play with my thumb, I'm going to play with my claw. So you could play this with your claw or your thumb as a glissando. Both of those are interesting ways to play. That's not what this lesson is about. This lesson is really about your thumb going down and doing rest stroke. But by not putting glissandos on there, I have a choice as a musician. How am I going to attack those notes? And there you have two separate, completely different ways of doing it. Let's go grab the baritone music, guys, and ukulele players. If you'll switch over to baritone. Let's talk about what's different and what's good and bad, different, whatever, about the baritone Three Blind Mice. There it is. All right, so baritone players, same exact thing. You're just in the key of G, and they were in the key of C. All my straps are all messed up today. What the heck? What's going on? Forever, I didn't play with a strap because I thought, I should be able to do this without a strap. And then I realized that the stuff that we do is so gosh darn hard that we have to have a strap. And then you spend most of your days fighting this stupid strap. If you don't go back and forth between instruments, you don't have the same problem. All right. Baritones. Your music is identical except you're in the key of G instead of the key of C. Ukulele players. We learned you learned your G chord earlier this week, and so let's make sure you're doing comfortably with that. Index finger, third string, first floor, second floor, third floor, third string, okay, second fret. Middle finger, first string, second fret. Ring finger jumps out here, second string, third fret. Okay, right there. That's the shape you're looking for. There are other ways to do a G chord. You don't want to do any of those right now. So this, and this. Okay, let's make sure that we got this correct, and this is the way we're doing it. Okay, that's your G chord. Ukulele players. Ukulele players. 4 beats per measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want to get fancy, you can pluck it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's whatever way you're doing. Make sure you're 4 beats in every measure. Doesn't ever change no matter what. Okay, measure 12 is the last measure. You might just strum once on that, but the other ones it's 4 beats per measure. Baritone players, same thing. Straight down. Thumb is going to rest on the string you're not going to play. Let's go through it one time slow, and then we'll go through it a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strum 0, 2, 0, 0. Let it ride. Do it again. Let it ride. was pretty fast, actually. That was kind of a jaunty pace. That should feel good. One of the things you'll notice about baritone, because we're in the key of G, we don't spend a lot of time touching this other than to strum it, and so it vibrates through the whole entire song, which gives you this nice, big, beautiful foundation of G chordness as you're then busy doing all of the other things you have to do, and you get a lot of sustain out of this, which we don't have on the ukulele as much. And so you get a different feeling overall about this song. I would say sometimes that's good and sometimes that's not good. But in this case, because we're just trying to keep that G chord rolling through the whole thing, this really actually adds to the song a little bit. It can also have a tendency to swallow up the melody, so you want to make sure as you're coming down that last string that you do pluck, making sure to hit it good and solid so that you can get the melody to stand out above this going on underneath there. One last time, ukulele players, give me a nice beautiful G chord, 4 times in every measure. Baritone players, you're giving me the tough uke. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's 3 blind mice. All right, shorter lesson today, supposed to be give you the opportunity to practice just a little bit on some of the stuff for tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, last week we had our first concert of the series, and this is to be your second concert. So now you're starting to figure out, hey, I can do this. This is going to be pretty sweet. Tomorrow we have our Friday concert. We do it every Friday. You will have a concert for the rest of your life. Your thought process on Fridays is not, I'll show up just like any other day. Your thought process on Fridays, I'm going to bring my A game on Friday. Okay? So tomorrow, we're going to play Make a Better Bar Worksheet. Bum, 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 blah, 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 blah. So you want to take a little bit of time today just to make sure you've got that in good shape. Make sure you've got thumb, index, middle, ring going really well, and ring, middle, index, thumb. That's going to show up next week when we actually learn arpeggio picking. And so this Make a Better Bar Worksheet is pretty helpful to get you set up for arpeggio picking, and obviously it's going to be super helpful for you in getting your bar chords together, which we also attack some bar chords next week. We have what is the one? Amazing Grace shows up. Amazing Grace shows up next week, and that has a bar chord in it. Okay, so let's be working on that. Also tomorrow we'll be playing your major scales. Figure out hopefully that, hey man, if I can pick out these individual notes, I don't have to sing, or I can choose to sing or not, but I'm letting the instrument do all of the work itself for playing melody. We will do strumming in the key of C, so you'll have Kookaburra, This Little Light of Mine. I'm trying to remember the other 2 ones that are on there. Oh, Danny Boy, I think, is on there. Page 2. So take a look at page 2. We in class we did page 1 in the key of C. So make sure you take a look at page 2 and be ready for that. And then of course our big 2 songs of the week, the 2 that are going to make a difference for you down the road, the 2 that are going to teach you how to play chord melody arrangements. I call it tough uke. On the internet they call it finger style. All of those are terms that mean more or less the same thing, which is taking some chords, taking some melody, smashing it together, and playing it in some very pleasant way where you as the performer and you as the artist have some say in what you're actually presenting to an audience. It's a little bit different than what we typically do in classical music, which is here's the notes, play exactly what's on the page, don't be creative, try to get great tone, but you just play what's on the page. I want you to do that, but I also want you to be able to think about what's on the page and what you can add to it as an artist, as a musician, and all of this stuff. And so My Spaghetti Monster and Three Blind Mice is where we begin that process of going through combining chords, combining melody, and making it sound amazing. So we will cover that as well tomorrow. Thoughts about playing in a concert. You guys know I show up every day wearing the same thing. That way I don't have to think about what I look like when I'm presenting, right? I'm always the same. When you present musically in a concert, most of the time, if you go to the symphony, about 95% of the time they're going to be dressed all in black. Everybody has it black on there. That way you're not looking at what they're wearing, you're looking at who they are and the music they're creating and how they're working their instrument. It eliminates one of these visual distractions. And so as you get into the business of performing, especially in this classical tradition that we do, not a bad idea to show up on Friday, show up for your Friday concert wearing all black. Right? We of course have cool-looking people in our orchestra, a couple of young people, and they gotta push it around a little bit and show up wearing all black, but something cool that's all black. So be thinking about when you're taking a shower, right? I know we're all in lockdown right now, and that whole bit is like shower. Oh, I think I do have a shower still, so come tomorrow with your A game, right? That's the idea of concerts. Is there are artificial deadlines to make us play, to make us show up with our best foot forward. That's it. That's what I know about ukulele today. Concert tomorrow. Be ready for that. And then next week we move into a more thorough analysis of how Tough Uke is going to work and how that creates music. So we start with Brahms' Lullaby next week, beautiful tune, and we'll start asking you guys to go look up chords, right? And when the baritones are playing, the ukulele players need to know what their chords look like, and vice versa. And I'm going to start having you use your own resources to develop that practice. Yankee Doodle next week is a similar skill set to Brahms' Lullaby, just in a different place on the neck. And then the big day next week, Wednesday, is when we do arpeggio picking, which you're already doing with Make a Better Bar worksheet, but now we're going to turn it into a song. And then on Friday, of course, Amazing Grace, different key, but same exact toolbox set as Yankee Doodle and Brahms' Lullaby. And so it's just the chord shapes are different. So next week we start dialing you into the real songs written by real composers, and taking the skill set that the tools that we've given you, turning them into songs. And of course, because we start using real tunes, the Tough Uke starts to get a whole lot more interesting and a whole lot more difficult as we go along. That will take us through next week. We're already into lesson 18. There's only 30 lessons in the foundation series, and so you're starting to figure out, hey, is this making sense to me, or am I getting in a little bit of a panic that I don't know what's going on? Don't be that way. If you don't panic about it. You may not know what's going on, but you don't panic about it, because sometimes the first time through is a little daunting. A lot of people take this class 2 or 3 times, and then they're like, okay, I've heard enough about My Spaghetti Monster. I want to move on, and that's when you start coming to the next hour's class. So thanks everybody for being here. Keep trying. Send me emails when you're starting to lose your mind and you're like, I don't think I know what's going on. Honestly, by lesson 30 you're going to know what's going on. So you may not be able to quite do it yet, but you will know. You'll understand. You'll have the big picture. Let's see. Mary G came in late, but still got it. I'm wonderful. All right. So the takeaway yesterday and today: chord melody, Tough Uke. That's what we're working on. Okay, Vic, thanks for being here. Thanks everybody for being here. Nancy, thanks, and everyone. Okay, have a great day. Got a 15 minutes here with nothing to do. Maybe just play. Okay, I'm going to pull the plug. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to all of you either tomorrow or I'll see you in the next hour. Where can I order? Oh, Jolly Roger shirt. I put on the website jollyrogerukulele.com over on the About tab, and just go up to the menu and click on About, and there's instructions on how to order this shirt. I'm just giving you the logo and giving you directions to the shirt that I'm buying. They seem to be pretty decent shirts. They launder well, and they don't hold cat hair real bad. They're sort of a nylon-y, super processed type, what do you call it, athletic type wear, but I like them. I think they're nice shirts. And so and there's a click, you can click on Amazon and you can download the logo there, upload it. I think your total cost $35-40, something like that, and you can buy one and represent Jolly Roger Ukulele. So yeah, it's on the About tab on Jolly Roger Ukulele, so you can get your shirt. All right, that's what I know, guys. I'm gonna pull the plug. Have a wonderful day. Random act of kindness. Be safe. Practice. Tomorrow's a concert. Show up on time and be ready. Looking good. If you have not, push like and subscribe. I'd appreciate that. And then also go to the website, read the About page, and read the subscribe page so you can become a member of our community. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful afternoon.